Listen up. I'm going to tell you why prosperity gospel is one of the most dangerous things happening in churches today. And if you're preaching it or following it, you need to hear this. Here's what prosperity preachers tell you. God wants you rich. If you're broke, you don't have enough faith. Sow a seed of $100 and God will multiply it back to you 10x. But here's what I'll tell you. That's not faith. That's a pyramid scheme with Jesus stickers on it. You know what prosperity gospel actually does? It takes people who are already struggling financially and convinces them to give money they don't have to pastors who drive Bentleys and Lamborghinis. Let me break this down. The prosperity preacher says, plant a seed of $500 and watch God bless you with $5,000. The reality is, you just gave $500 you needed for rent to someone who's about to buy another watch. This isn't about God. This is about grift. Here's what actually happens. When you teach people that wealth equals God's blessing, you create two massive problems. Problem number one, poor people think God hates them. They're struggling to pay bills. Pastor says wealth equals God's favor, therefore God must not favor them. They spiral into shame and give more money they don't have. Problem number two, rich people think they're spiritually superior. They have money. Money equals God's blessing according to the teaching. Therefore, they're more blessed or righteous than poor people. Your bank account doesn't determine your relationship with God. Here's how they hook you. The setup, God wants to bless you financially. The hook, but you need to show faith first. The ask is sow a seed of any random amount you can't afford. And then there's the blame. If it doesn't work, you didn't have enough faith. Notice what happened there? They can never be wrong in that situation. If you get money, they were right. If you don't get money, it's your fault for not having enough faith. That's not theology. That's not the theology they taught us in school. That's psychological manipulation. What prosperity gospel actually creates is debt-ridden believers who keep giving money that they don't have. Guilt and shame when the blessing doesn't come. A distorted view of God as a cosmic vending machine. And of course, rich pastors living in mansions while their congregation struggles. So work hard, be generous with what I have, and trust God with the results. Not, I'll give money I don't have and expect God to make me rich. The bottom line, if your pastor is promising you financial returns on your giving, that's not a pastor, that's a salesman. If your church focuses more on your wallet than your walk with God, that's not a church, that's a business. And if your theology says God's love is measured by your bank account, that's not theology, that's heresy. Here's what I want you to do. Stop giving money you can't afford to people who promise you returns. Start investing in your skills, your character, and your actual relationship with God. Because the truth they don't want you to know, God doesn't need your money. Those preachers do. Now go build something real instead of funding someone else's private jet.